Good afternoon. This is Mike Firmer with Iredell Free News. We're here at the administrative offices of Iredell Statesville Schools today with Superintendent Dr. Jeff James. Dr. Jeff James, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here with you again and wrapping up another school year.
Yeah, let's go over some highlights from the past year. I know you have a lot of things you'd like to cover today.
We have quite a few, and actually probably a lot more than we can get on a short program with you, but congratulations to all of our graduates, and thank you, staff members, for all the hard work you've put in. I think when COVID started back a year or so, 2 years ago, I think we were actually somehow thinking that this past year would be even easier. Probably the hardest year we've had in education with all the things we've had to contend with. But we ended with a very successful year. I will say that tonight at 7 o'clock, West Iredell High School wraps up for graduations. We had our first I Academy at CATS graduation. I Academy is a culmination of homeschool students that take classes with us, and they're able to do so, of course, because of their parents paying taxes, but they can mix between homeschool and us. They can do both dual enrollment. And some of those actually played sports, took career technical education classes, and have some going into industry, some going on to four-year colleges. So it's a great partnership with our community for homeschool students. And I've always said it, Mike, in ninth grade, it behooves you as a homeschool parent to take advantage of the many career technical certifications we have. And speaking of that, Mr. Tim Woody, our career technical director, the other night reported out to the board, we're up about 1,800, almost 2,000 additional career technical education classes than we were 3 years ago. So we continue to see that number grow, and believe it or not, if you look at the GPA of those students, it tends to be some of the highest GPAs in our district. Also, the graduation rate for career technical education completers, and that's someone that's taken 3 courses in a pathway, is over 95%, so some of the highest in the state. So I think as a community, it behooves all of us to make sure that our graduates walk across the stage and get just more than that diploma. The certifications mean a whole lot. They can easily do that, even if they want to go on to a 4-year university. It's always good to have a welding certification or an automotive certification, and culinary or many other certifications we do offer. So a great year there. I will say amazing number of scholarships this year. So we'll graduate as of tonight a little over 1,700 students with over $35 million in scholarships. So that's a lot of hard work put in with counselors, with parents working with us, and with students seeking out scholarships. And you've heard me say it many times, that FAFSA form is one of the most important things our parents can do, is fill it out. Never assume that you're not eligible for dollars toward scholarships. And North Carolina, unfortunately, is about $85 million a year on the table that our kids could be getting in scholarships. So please continue to do that. The other thing this year we're proud of, we work in partnership with United Way. They put a lot more money back into our community than our employees help raise, but I commend our employees. We've met our goal every year, actually exceeded it. During the pandemic, United Way put in several hundred thousands of dollars into our district to help with technology and virtual learning. So that payback is very, very high in our community. So it does behoove us to work with United Way. They're a great partner, and I actually serve on their executive committee. But we raised over $74,000 this year for United Way, and that comes back to us in so many different ways. And one of them that is near and dear to my heart is Rainbow Kids, and Leanne runs that program for us, Darty, and I've known her for many, many years. And it's run out of hospice. So for students that have a parent that passes away, we have a grief group that she runs and several other people in her organization. So just another way to help support the social emotional learning of our students here in Iredell County. The other night, if you listen to our board meeting, Kelly Marcy went over the many partnerships we have, Children's Hope Alliance, the many other things we do to help support our kids socially and emotionally. And pandemic has been very hard, not only on the kids, but on our staffs. So that said, Lake Norman this year won first place in the Odyssey of the Mind. And if you never watched one of those competitions, it's actually where kids take all these things we teach. And I'm sure that there's people out there that said the same thing I'm getting ready to say. Why did I take algebra or math 1? When am I ever going to use it? Well, Odyssey of the Mind, these students are given a prompt. They do not know ahead of time what it's going to be. They're given the prompt at the competition, and they have to be able to set and compete with other schools. So kudos to Lake Norman. And of course, they are going to London to play their band. So that's an accolade that's coming up in the near future. But our enrollment also this year, Mike, even during a pandemic, we heard other districts losing enrollment. The state said some districts lost thousands of students. The state actually had to step in and hold harmless the daily membership so districts wouldn't lose money. We actually went up 450 kids. For next year, the state is saying we will add an additional 1,000 kids. So we're one of the very few districts in the state that's growing. So that says a lot for our teaching staff and the academic accolades we have here. And if you didn't see it, Jeff Sonyer has been around for many, many years. And of course, like myself, his age some. Doesn't look like he did when I was growing up, but done a great story about Iredell Statesville schools, the impact of the pandemic on education. And actually, in our region, we well outperformed other districts, both in math and language arts. We had very little learning loss. Actually, out of the 116 school systems in the state of North Carolina, we had the least amount of learning loss in the state. So that's kudos for all the people that touch our kids on a daily basis in the education arena and behavioral support, even cafeteria. The other thing I would ask our viewers that I think you can help us with going into another year, like many people, we're in need of help. We have openings in custodial, maintenance, and teaching. Teaching profession, unfortunately, we've seen the number of students going into teaching drop substantially. That's going to have an impact. So we definitely need to encourage students to look at teaching as a career. So that would help us out wholeheartedly. And with that, we have a lot of different programs. We got a TSL grant. So Mike, also in grant world, we've probably pulled in another $30 to $35 million in grants in the last 2 years. And one of those is to do master teachers. So a teacher that's been in a classroom a while that has really good performance data, we're able to pay them additional stipends to help go work with younger teachers, beginning teachers. And that's one of the reasons teachers leave. As a beginning teacher, a lot of times we make the assumption we put you in a classroom and you're ready to teach. But the education system, as you get an education degree, gives you the content knowledge, but you really have to know how to build a relationship with kids and run a classroom. Classroom management is the number one thing that we have issues with. We have behavioral team that we put in place. We've increased our nurses this year, and safety is big on everyone's mind. But just to wrap it up, where we need your help most of all, we were free breakfast, free lunch, and we thought outside the box and actually started serving free suppers or dinners. So we are one of the very few districts that serve about 5,000 suppers or dinners a night, and we're able to expand that. So during this pandemic, we've seen our lunches go from about 10,000 a day, 50,000 a week, till we hit almost 94,000 meals about 2 weeks ago. So that tells me there were additional 4,000 students eating breakfast and lunch every day. The bad part of the pandemic, the good part was everything was free. Now that the pandemic is going away, has gone away, the federal government's not continuing free breakfast, free lunch, and so that means we got to start charging again. And if there's ever been a program that I think really helps our kids, and I think all of us as American citizens would really like to see our tax dollars make sure that our kids get to eat every day. And so, Mike, it was apparent we had about 4,500 kids not eating every day. We do have free and reduced lunch forms, but getting people to fill them out and qualify is just about impossible. So please help us there, and please let your congressmen and senators know that is one program that needs to continue. Our kids deserve to have a free breakfast and free lunch, especially a nation that can send billions of dollars overseas to help support other causes. I think we need to take care of our own kids in our own counties and states and our country. So I need your help there. The other thing, safety is big on everyone's mind. It always is. We're constantly doing assessments of our campuses, trying to secure them. We do have a few older campuses that are separate buildings. We're trying to make sure that we have access control on each and every one of those doors. We did let a contract out. We are doing the labor on that. We have talked with the county commissioners possibly about fronting us some money or giving us some additional dollars to try to get that done this summer. I would love for us to start back in the fall of the year with every external door either having an alarm or an access control, so you can't just come in the door and nobody not know it. So we do have some of those campuses we're cleaning up, but I will say, because of your tax dollars, we have an SRO in every school. We have 25 nurses and 10 social workers, and those are through grants. So when 2024 rolls around, I need you as citizens to be thinking about the sales tax increase so we can continue to support our schools with nurses, social workers, and school resource officers. And I think that's the best way we, as good stewards of your money, can make sure your kid goes to school and maintains a safe environment. We maintain a safe environment for your child. So we appreciate everything the taxpayers have done for us. This is a partnership, and I think our schools have shown, second to none, that we're one of the best education entities in the state of North Carolina. So I would say wholeheartedly, as a taxpayer myself, that you're getting a good return on your investment. So Mike, again, appreciate everything our staffs have done. We appreciate the general public for supporting us, and let's work together to make our schools even safer and better next year. Thank you.
Thank you.